Yeah, I really think the time has come to have this conversation about, um, yeah, just like how it feels to be, uh, you know, here with you. And what makes this so difficult in particular is that, you know, in conflict resolution, there are a few elements that have to be dealt with, right? Uh, a conflict has to happen between at least two objects, two parties. Um, these things are identified as extremes of sorts, and they have their nuances within them that provide some level of justification for their being, whether they acknowledge them or not. Uh, and there is also the consistent reality, right? There's also the elements of the universe that are irrefutable, or irrevocable, such as um, uh, being wary of the always and the nevers, or you know, the gravity of time, and how it plays into certain things, and also just generally the fact that, okay, well, there are conflicts in the realm of universals, and there are two parties and things of that nature. So, talking about all those fundamental things, and I guess you would kind of think that there is or would be some level of initiative, by general society, like somebody's gonna handle it, just based off of the simple fact that, out of what I said, what I said isn't new to anyone, right? Like, I don't, there are not very many people who have an expectation of the world where people are just gonna be assholes and just gonna be mean. Like, if there's anything to point out about whatever political sides or beliefs, um, creeds, allegiances, no matter what, there is a steady perspective of like a general expectation. Like when we're weighing behaviors, right? We're considering circumstances where everybody's alive, everybody's gonna stay alive, um, and and it's gonna be over. Like whatever the thing is that's being held on to is eventually gonna pass. And so, with this expectation, and the generation of that expectation, saying that, well, somebody's gonna do this, somebody's gonna take control of the situation, somebody's gonna bring it to an end. There becomes a sort of a recognition of like roles that can be assumed, and the decisions within those roles that can be made as well to, you know, represent those roles. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Hey, look, I'm not involved. You feel me? I have nothing to say. I had no parts in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of it. You know, I have nothing to say. Um, roles like that, positions like that, barring in mind though, still knowing, um, having this somewhat theoretical baseline understanding of the goodness of people or whatever, like something will make this good, right? And that's what I call it, right? Like when I talk about goodness, or like goodness, the goodness is, um it's the work, like it's the process, right? The good is things are made good. You know what I'm saying? It is the fact that they work, or whatever, um, or that they have been made, that makes them good. And it's all the other contextual stuff that makes it negative, and the areas where people do say things like, where there are people, oh, these particular, like, because they're not naive to the fact that there are people who, um, could mean bad, or um, otherwise seek to disturb, the unity, and or whatever, right? Do wicked things, go against, whatever we we are looking at to see as, I guess, a precedent for making something good. Uh, it's not that they're naive. Because when they go to identify, because they go to identify people, but they are segments of people, like they're, uh, sections of people. They're groups of people. These are enumerated, people of sorts. I mean, again, people could speak generally, but again, if you generally ask somebody about, something in like a general sort of concept, they're gonna answer in a way where everybody lives. Things are like somewhat peaceful. It's, the baseline is not suffering, right? Or like the baseline, as a matter of fact, the baseline leans more toward, some level of, excuse me, at least an acknowledgement of the unity that we have, right? Or that is the things that we share. And so, you know, like I said, I mean, there's this role that's being played as if, or there's this role that's being acknowledged as if, um, there's some sort of a choice or preference of which position to play in the role of being a part of an interaction. Um, and that's what conflicts are, right? Like, a conflict is a type of interaction. So a conflict is a type of interaction, and what is being sought, right? And in my case, you know, and it's been all throughout time. It's been all throughout time. It hasn't just been now, but I just haven't spoken about it because, it's kind of like, who cares? You just you keep on going. On the one hand, it's like, who cares? But on the other hand, though, it's like, nah, it doesn't make sense, because it has larger implications in society. You know what I'm saying? Um, and people don't talk about them either. Like, people apparently don't have uh, the literacy skills, the communication skills, the linguistic skills, um, to even be able to articulate why they do these things that they do. And you know, look, man, throughout all this time, I've dealt with, you know, social media, because I didn't have a phone very early. Like, my little brothers had phones before I had phones. I didn't get my first phone until sixth grade, and not long, like, I didn't even have my phone like a year, probably 6 months before my mom took it away from me, because at that time, minutes were still like the thing, and texting eats minutes, and I didn't know that. And my mom, she just whatever, and so she took my phone away from me because I uh, was using all of the minutes texting my friends, and so I didn't have a phone again for a long time. Not like it really mattered for that long. I mean, like, my mom, whew, man, my mom, man. My mom was the type of mom who was like, we're not allowed to have social media accounts. Like when we had Facebook, I mean, not Facebook, when we had MySpace, right? MySpace, it was the white M, right? With the blue background. It wasn't even a blue, but it was just the M. It was the white M and everything. You had Tom and everything, and your friends, and you could customize your background and all of that type of shit. Like everybody had a MySpace. I remember everybody had a MySpace. And it was decked out, like it was cool, but we were not allowed to have MySpace. My mom said to me and my brothers, we are not allowed to have MySpace or really any social media. I mean, we had Me's, but even then, right, like we weren't calling Me's social media at that time. You would consider it social media at this time, but it was just like a dope thing, like what I mean, communicating with people. But I don't know. I was never playing. I don't even think I even really had the ability or space to play Me's at home. You know what I mean? Like I mean, maybe till later in my life, but when I was actually playing though, like Me's was something that I really played at like my after school programs or at school or whatever the case may be. And anyway, we weren't allowed to fucking have the damn social media accounts. And I remember at least twice that my mom beat the hell out of me for finding out that I had a MySpace. Um, and a Facebook. So I got my ass beat crazy for having a MySpace, and I've had my ass beat crazy for having a Facebook as a kid. And so yeah, my brothers can say whatever they want because, like I said, they had phones, right? They had iPhones before me. They had everything. They had social media, all that. They got to live their lives. Me, I did not get to live my life. I had to whatever, like try to more or less like sneak around as best as I could. You know what I mean, with the friends that I had, so I could have my Facebooks and be able to like communicate with them and stuff like that, even though I wasn't at school and stuff like that. And I would say probably like one of the main reasons that you want to maintain communication when you're a kid, right? And you're in school or whatever the case may be, is yes, so that you can maintain the connections with the people that you meet because you're gonna meet these people who are now outside who you obviously don't live in the same houses with, and you can't be doing you can't be doing you know the same things, at the same time and all that. You have your own lives to live, you know what I'm saying? And communication has always been great because it keeps us in touch with one another. And just like any kid, any person, you know what I'm saying, at any stage in their lives who find anybody who, is worthy, who they feel worthy of spending time with and all that type of stuff. I tried to have that access, right? And the times that I was caught for it, I got the shit beat out of me for it by my mom. So anyway, um, I don't know if there's something I missed. I don't know if there's something because I definitely don't understand, but I don't know if there's something that I missed. But I mean, I've always been aware of, the follow back concept. I understand it, right? It's like follow me back. I'm a person, right? Like, I'm a person, follow me back. And I mean, from the very beginning, like I have trust issues. Like I have really bad trust issues, but it's really only because of the fact that how large of a scale um, manipulation, deceit, and harm has been done to people um, for ideological reasons, and just like large and intense and like different things. So, I've just seen a lot of the cruelty of like how humanity can be, and not even just historically, but also physically. Like when you live it a certain way as well, physically, it really helps you to understand to what extent theoretically or like historic the things that you haven't experienced. You know what I'm saying, and the things that you've seen. Um, sorry, and the things that have happened that you haven't seen, but that you can learn of, what I'm saying, by, recollection. Because it's possible to believe, people have killed people. If you can kill one person, you can kill many people. But to know that, like, people can, like, flay you, you got to learn what flaying is, you feel me? Like, or, and two, like you gotta see it happen. Like you gotta see like what it looks like or whatever. Like to really be able to understand and see like the level of, and to be like to be able to really empathize with these different things about the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really it's really one of those, you gotta really have sex. You know what I'm saying? To really understand these things that we talk about in terms of being a human and dealing with our carnality. You really got to understand, being in a fight, getting fucking punched in your face. You feel me? Getting punched in your stomach. You feel me? Whatever. Slammed to the ground. Getting fucking feeling your body. Ah, shit. You feel me? Like these different things that you need to experience in order to really understand, right? Like the levels of empathy that we can have for one another. And it's like it seems like an elementary thought, right? It seems like an elementary thought, but if it's an elementary thought, then why is it that when I have followed back, you know um or I interact, that people scurry away? Like the person like scurries away, like they'll unfollow, and you know shit, I've been blocked. You know what I mean? But at least they unfollow, and like they start like acting like this and everything. Like like it's weird. It's weird. I don't know what it is. So anyway, I've always experienced this kind of thing where people want to follow me, but they don't want me to follow them. Um, and the thing is, like, they follow me, but then like I post, I do whatever, I do my posts, and they just watching, like like in the side, just like this, like I said, just like that, like and it's like you think I don't see you, and that's the funny part, like you think I don't see you, and it's not even that you think that I don't. It's not even I don't even think it's that you think that I don't see you too. Like it's a few different things, but the point is that because I know for like for certain things, I don't know what your intent could be beyond thinking that I'm interesting to some degree, but like you thinking that I'm like weird or whatever. But like, how weird is it? How really weird is it that like your behavior? You know what I'm saying? And uh, so because of knowing you fucking weirdos, and the bullshit that y'all pull, um, yeah, I don't follow back. I don't follow back. I don't, you know, give a fuck about what any of you are doing. I really I don't. I really don't. Um, like I'm cool with all of the like, and then and even if I meet you in person and I say, yo, yeah, like boom, you unfollow me and all of that, like boom, boom, and you acting stupid and all of that type of shit, like you didn't unfollow me and yada yada yada, all of that shit, like y'all niggas are weird as fuck, and it's like at the end of the day, if you don't want to be interacted with, then I'm not gonna interact with you. You know what I'm saying? And there's no reason to be around you. Why are you like or to even give you attention? You know what I'm saying? Like, so why do I need to like or like what's the point of me even thinking in the realm of you know um worrying about what anybody ever thinks about me or has to say about me, or thinks about what I do, or or even that I care about what they're doing, or whatever the case may be. Like it's funny how people will look at you like you're weird when they're the ones being weird. Like they're the ones staring at you from a distance. They're the ones gossiping about you. You feel me? And like uh making up stories, right? Or like expecting something, like just expecting something out of you, like you gonna do something, or you're gonna be able to, whatever the case may be, like you guys are the weird ones. you know and I'll be damned. Like it's crazy how much I seen you know uh you know how long I've been told I'm being considered that I'm weird, right? I'm the weirdo or whatever the case may be. But meanwhile, y'all niggas have been fucking children. Y'all done let men be called women and women be called men. You know what I mean? Y'all are advocating for pedophilia. You feel me? Y'all were damn near willing to elect a literal retard for president. Y'all have gone so crazy. I've seen how much y'all are willing to just slut yourselves out and just enslave yourselves and sacrifice yourselves for short term hedonistic gratification and just things of this nature. You know what I mean? And then how many of you are begging for repentance and begging, you know what I'm saying, for like for yo like, and I'm the weirdo, like I'm the weirdo based off all of this. You know, sorry, considering the mountain of evidence. You know what I'm saying? And I deal enough with my own mistakes and my own flaws and stuff like that, right? My own judgment of myself based off of not just my own processing, but what I literally experience from other people. So I'm very harsh. Like I'm very tough. I'm very like, like I care because I've had a lot of it's just because of my portion. Like it's really just because of my portion. And so now, in some respects as well, though, like we can talk about how, like I said, throughout all of this and me maintaining my sanity, right, and maintaining my integrity and who I am as a person, because like I said, you can't even tell me what it is that you think I'm weird for, or whatever the case may be. Um, and even when I ask you, and so, you know, like I said, we have these sorts of interactions, such as with social media and stuff like this, and you start acting weird because I'm interacting. And the thing is, like, if there's anything that I've shown, like if there's anything that you will find that's consistent throughout my content, it's that I care about people. Like I like that. I love life, bro. Like I'm really grateful for life. I really love life and the things that life has to offer, and the fact that other people have contributed and can contribute and do contribute. You know what I'm saying? Like I really appreciate those things. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that I care that much. Like you can just tell how much I care, right? Just by looking at me, or just by me being in your presence, or what I mean, whatever the case may be. But like, you know, but the point that I'm making is that it's you. It's not me. It's not me, it's you, you know? And part of the point of making that illustration again just draws back to the beginning of the conversation, where I'm talking about how, you know, conflicts or interactions, they involve two objects, two parties, you know what I'm saying? Two subjects. And at the end of the day, like you already try to go through and let somebody else, be good to you, right? But people are fucking assholes, or people want to be dicks to me, or whatever the case may be, because they feel whatever they feel and all of that type of shit. But at the end of the day, right, like I can't lash out on everybody too, right? Because then that'll give you your reason. That's one of the ways that you try to play with me. You try to play with me by trying to paint me as like aggressive or blah blah blah, or somebody who's whatever, like a danger to society, whatever the case may be. And I'll be that, but I'll be that in my way. I'm not gonna be that in the way that you try to say because of your bitch assness. You feel me? And like the way that you trying to say that I'm a problem. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless it's actually how I move, but I know how I move. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I've had to work for, even just in the simple fact that I know that I have been able to garner the respect of people, and I understand to an extent the type of effect that I have on people. And so yeah, bro, like understanding those things, it's like uh when you're dealing with the separate parties, I can't hope that you'll be good, especially if you're not being good. And then within myself, I know that I have to keep my attitude together, so I'll be good, right? But that doesn't mean that still doesn't mean that you'll be good to me. And so, and then like I said, like we don't live in this world based off of per se, like a steady sort of interaction in every interaction that we have, right? Like all of our interactions are nuanced. So I can't depend on people per se as like a universal, or like meaning individual things about individual people, as like particulars. I have to measure the amount of like the universal of, the type of person that you are. And yeah, it is really a shame that I've had to deal with this social media issue, this weirdo issue, this not a real friend issue, this, all of this type of stuff, not don't really love me issue, don't really care about me issue, for a very long time, insecure in yourself issue. Anyway, having to deal with this issue for a very long time, and you know, no matter how many times I extend the olive branch, no matter how many times I just, do me and I continue to do me, I just know that it's best to do it in my spirit, to do it in my style, my flavor, you know what I mean? How I want to do it. Because if I rely on y'all won't do shit anyway, you know? Like, I, y'all, I have zero faith, just about, that the world, that that the person who could do what I could do, uh, exists. And that's in anything. That's in anything. I'm not, just talking about saving the world or setting the example or whatever, anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I'm me, and I haven't met anybody who's like me. And even if there were somebody who was like me, they're not like me, because I don't know anybody who's doing this shit in the way that I'm doing, and who sees this shit, you know what I'm saying, in the way that I see this shit. And you know, hey, look, it doesn't mean that we can't be friends or we can't be cool, but out of what I've experienced and what has gone on, there's a reason why I move the ways that I move, and I act the ways that I act. And it's because y'all niggas are weird, and especially because y'all be trying to call me weird. So, hey, fuck you. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of this video. Yeah. Those with ears, let them hear.